Thanksgiving week. We hope you're all ready for the week that's ahead of us and baking your turkeys and your goodies and all that fun stuff. But I am here today with Amy Romero with Finance of America Mortgage. How are you, Amy?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm so happy that you came on the show.
I'm happy you invited me.
So, Amy, how long have you been a loan officer?
Let's see. I've been a loan officer probably about 25 years. Prior to that, I was a processor.
Oh, wow.
So about 30 years.
Wow.
In the business.
So you have a lot of experience behind you.
Yeah. Sometimes too much, I think.
Well, that's good. So before the show started, we were discussing this awesome new program. The acronym for it is GSFA, and it stands for Gold State Finance Authority. So what is a GSFA Open Door?
The Open Door program is a new program that GSFA has come out with, and it provides up to 7% of closing costs and down payment assistance. So depending on the borrower and what their needs are, you can adjust it to, say they only have 1% to put down. You can adjust it for the second to be a 2%, and then the gift part of it would be 3.5%. So just depending on, conventional FHA, USDA type loan they're doing, you would basically adjust it to what their need would be.
So you mentioned the word a gift. So does that mean that it's free money for the homeowner or home buyer?
Part of it is, yes. So you can get 3.5% up to a gift. And then depending on the down payment assistance part that you need, that's going to cover the closing cost, that would be how you would tailor it to your borrower. So they can get up to 3.5% as a gift and up to 3.5% as a second, which is due and payable either when they refinance or, sell or pay off the mortgage.
Okay. And so I'm sure there are, but what are the credit limits for the GSFA program?
So the credit score limit on the GFSA program is 640 for FHA and 660, I believe, for conventional financing.
And that's their middle credit score.
Right.
Yeah. And so what about income limits? What are the income limits?
There are income limits, and those, it just depends on what county you live in. So there's on their website, you can look up the income limit in your county. Like in Kern County, I believe it's like $64,900 and some dollars. Fresno County is about the same. So Central Valley would be, obviously you would look it up on the website. I'm not real familiar on each county what the income limit is. So that, there are income limits for conventional loans. For FHA, VA, USDA, there are no income limits.
Okay.
So.
And is that based on an individual, based on a family, household?
So it depends on the type of financing and who's going on the loan. So if it's just the husband purchasing and going conventional, it's based off his income.
Okay.
If you go FHA, obviously, you don't have to use the household income. However, you still have to hit him with his spouse's debt.
Debt, yes. And the spouse's credit can affect that as well.
It can, not the FICO score itself. Okay. However, if they're not on the loan, but the debt can, yes. Make it to where he may not be able to qualify for as much on an FHA, VA, USDA as he would on a conventional if it was just him going on that type of loan.
So your spouse's debt will affect your debt to income ratio.
Correct.
Yeah.
But not the FICO score. So if they have bad credit, but, that's what you're for. But if they still have some collections or things that, need to be taken care of, it just depends on, how much they owe, if it has to be paid off or not.
So with regards to down payment assistance, we've all heard about the Cal FHA. What's the difference between the GSFA and the Cal FHA?
Well, there's lots of differences. Like with Cal HFA, you get up to, I believe it's 4% of the down payment assistance. However, there's no interest rate tied to that. So you use they don't have their own specific interest rate. Let me rephrase that. They don't have a specific interest rate for their program. So you get to use standard FHA conventional rates that your company is offering at that point for that program. GSFA program, Open Door, and their Platinum program, you have to go by their rate sheet. So the rates are a little higher than your standard FHA or conventional financing, but that's how they keep the programs funded.
When you say a little higher, is it about 0.25%, 1%, 2%?
Well, that depends on who you work for.
Okay.
So, standard retail pricing we're all pretty much the same as far as our interest rates, but brokers obviously could be a little less depending on if they're helping cover closing costs or not. So, rates on this program, say I was doing a standard conventional through CalHFA, I could lock it at maybe 4.25%.
Okay.
With the 3%, My Home program, which is at a 0% interest. But then you have your ZIP, the ZIP is 0% interest, and the My Home is a 3% interest. Then if I were to do a GSFA program, their rate may be for that 3%, 4.75.
Okay.
So there's your difference.
Okay.
But you get the 3% as a gift.
Well,
it's
wonderful.
forgiven after 3 years. So every year that you have the home, the part of that 3%, a third of that 3% is forgiven. So after 3 years, it's fully forgiven. Then you can refinance it down the road if you don't ever want to pay any of that money back.
That's awesome. Now, you did mention the Platinum program.
Yes.
So what's the difference between the Platinum and the Open Door with the GSFA?
So Platinum,
That's a tongue twister.
yeah, it is a tongue twister because I always mix it up and put GFSA. I don't know why, but the difference is with the Platinum program, you can go up to 5%, and that would be considered fully forgiven after the 3 years, depending on FHA or conventional financing. Would be the difference in what you can get as far as the grant. The Open Door goes up to 7%.
No.
So you can do and it's tailored. So you can kind of fix if they only need 3% down. So you would do the 3.5% second, 3.5% gift. So the gift part is just that. It's just a gift. So but on that, there's no interest.
That's wonderful.
So there's no interest on the second, but CalHFA, theirs has 3% interest on that second.
Yeah, and it's a silent second.
It's a silent second, so there's no payment on it. However, the interest accrues, and so if you keep that for 30 years, on say $8,000, you're going to pay a lot of interest over that,
Right.
on that over 30 years. And so a lot of people aren't aware that when they do to go to pay that off, say they refinance in 5 years, and all of a sudden the balance is like, $11,000, and they're like, wait, we didn't know that. And
Yeah.
because a lot of people don't explain, maybe, or when they sign their loan documents, it's not explained to them, and they just sign because they want their house. And
Right.
So you want to make sure that that's explained to your buyer.
And sometimes it is explained, but the buyer doesn't
Right. They don't
focus
hear
in
it.
on it or hear it.
Right. Sometimes they don't hear that. And then they're like, well, you never told me.
Yes,
we did.
Exactly. Well, we're going to be back after a few moments and talk more with Amy Romero of Finance of America Mortgage. Stay tuned.
When you need to get fit, contact Gary Torres, IFBB Pro, specializing in weight loss, body transformations, and contest prep. Email Gary Torres 5336 at yahoo.com.
Hey, I'm Chris DeVold. Tune in every Friday night on CentralValleyTalk.com when I bring you Sex, Drugs, Chris DeVold, where I'll give you 3 guesses on what we talk about. And I also vow to bring you 1 live local music act a week. So tune in every week because you never know what kind of music you're going to hear right here on CentralValleyTalk.com.
The Space Colony Journals are an epic tale of a family's struggle to survive. Meet the courageous women and dangerous men who dare to carve a home on the alien world of Vensug. Get your copy today. Available on Amazon and Gail Daly's FineArt.com.
You enter this door with expired tags. Beyond is another dimension, a dimension of regulations, a dimension of long waits. You have reached the registration zone. What looks like an ordinary shop is actually Mitchell's SMOG, located in the heart of the Tower District, a few minutes from the DMV. Mitchell's SMOG offers your vehicle a STAR-certified SMOG inspection. So remember Mitchell's SMOG when you need to pass through the registration zone.
Contact Sarah Hernandez of June and Matte Photography to schedule your portrait, engagement, wedding, or next family photo session. But that's not all. Sarah is also your personal brandographer, helping you ditch the stock photos and get images that sell. Call 559-412-3721. Visit JuneandMattePhoto.com and follow Sarah on Instagram and Facebook.
Hello everyone, my name is Miss G. I offer fun and affordable promotion and advertisement on my talk show. It is called Fresno Vibes. We talk, we play awesome music. I also feature a bunch of different bartenders from different places. I like to have restaurants. I like to have any event, any kind of fun stuff. Contact me at rmgmissg@gmail.com and we will have so much fun and we will promote your business, promote your event right here on my show. So contact me. We'll have fun. Thank you.
Give your child the tools to succeed. The Yergubian Academic Center offers one-on-one and group educational lessons by appointment. Over 90% of our students show significant improvement in their academics in just 3 months. Students of the Yergubian Academic Center have gone on to UCLA, UC San Diego, Yale, Stanford, and many more prestigious universities. 59-437-3973.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Home Buying Tips with Allie. I am here with Amy Romero of Finance of America Mortgage, and we've been discussing the GSFA program, which stands for Golden State Finance Authority. It is a tongue twister, so be prepared.
It surely is.
So, Amy, what kind of home buyer is the GSFA program good for?
This program is good for first-time home buyers or even, second time. You don't have to be a first-time home buyer to get this program. It's good for somebody that wants to get into a home that hasn't been able to maybe save for their down payment, but have shown that they are able to, pay their bills on time and that they're responsible. But it's just somebody that I think it's for somebody that just wants to buy a home now and not have to wait 4 or 5 years to save a down payment, because in 4 or 5 years they may not be able to afford something that they can buy today.
Exactly, especially the way real estate prices are going.
Right, and interest rates.
Yes.
So interest rates are rising and home prices are rising. So, it's a good program for anybody that's ready to buy now but just doesn't have, the funds to come up with either closing costs or or their down payment. It's also good for buyers that do have a down payment but not able to cover their closing costs, and they become in a bidding war, which I just had over the weekend. A client down in Bakersfield that, I called him and I said, I understand, but we can do a platinum program, give you 3% to cover your closing costs. The interest rate's still very competitive, which would put you, take you out of that bidding war. And they were put in contract on Monday. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
it's a good program for just about anybody,
Yeah.
I think, as long as, you have the credit score and they're not as strict, with FICO scores as CalHFA these days. So it's a good program really for anybody.
Yeah, and just to remind everyone, so with CalFHA, your mid score has to be
A 660.
and with this program
640.
So that's a 20-point difference, which sometimes just getting those 20 points is very difficult and
Right.
is time consuming. So
Right. Well, and a lot of, I get a lot of people that call and say, well, my Credit Karma says,
Yeah.
or Credit Sesame says that my score is this. And yes, that's based off of your Vantage 8 score. When we pull your credit score, it's completely different. Just like when a car company pulls your credit score, it's more based on your payment history of your car payments.
Exactly.
And so we pull up the whole shebang, I guess, and it shows basically your scores can be a lot different when we pull them. So, we like to have clients come in and get pre-approved so that if they're not there, then we can actually, send them to you to get them where they need to be.
well, and as a mortgage loan officer, you're pulling a FICO 2, 4, and 5.
Right.
And a lot of people are set on this is my score, but there's over 60 different FICO score algorithms out there.
Right.
So this is your score according to whom. So don't fight your loan officer when they're telling you that your scores are here, because your scores are here according to your needs to purchase a home.
Right. Not your
Not what
Credit
Karma says.
Right. And Credit Karma is a great tool.
Yeah.
To help you boost your FICOs and things like that. But gives you good advice as to how to bring your scores up
Exactly.
and things like that. But people that have been in the business long enough should know. They know what you need to do and who you need to talk to get it there. And it just depends on how fast that client wants to get into a home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One thing you mentioned a few seconds ago that I thought was interesting is typically when you're going through CalFHA, you're a first-time home buyer.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to wait 3 years of not having any property in your name to be considered a first-time home buyer again. But you mentioned that with the GSFA, you don't have to be a first-time
No.
home buyer and anyone qualifies.
Right.
So
Right.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So, and the nice thing about that program as well is you go by what your LP or your DU are say, not
So
as
what
far
is
as
LP and DU?
Okay, so LP and DU are automated underwriting systems for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
Okay.
And so they tell us what kind of documentation we need for the client. It'll approve it. It also has algorithms that figure out if they're a high credit risk or if they're a low credit risk. And that gives us the basis on what we need to collect from the borrower.
Right.
It also will allow a client to go above the 45% debt to income ratio.
Oh.
It just depends on, the strength of the file.
Right.
So when your loan officer goes in to input that into the system, they want to make sure that file is strong, because you don't want to run it like 50 times to try and get it to work. You only want to have to run it maybe once or twice
Right.
before you send it to underwriting. Then it's a solid file and you're good to go.
Because I believe the more you submit it to underwriting, because you're in a sense fishing to get approved, that could also become a red flag to underwriting.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because it looks to them like you're trying to manipulate the system.
Right.
And then they're going to pick that file apart. So
Yes.
you want to make sure that it's definitely a strong file and not submit it over and over and over again to get different results. The difference between GFSA and CalHFA is CalHFA will allow you to run it through DU, which can be...
Which is direct underwriting.
Right, which is the, I always get them confused. I want to say it's the Fannie Mae site. And it's a lot less, it allows a lot more to go through.
Okay.
But with LP, which is the Freddie.
And what is LP?
LP is the other DU system for Freddie Mac.
Oh, okay.
So basically, it's the automated underwriting system for Freddie, and then DU is for Fannie Mae.
So Freddie and Fannie are not friends.
They are not friends. And Freddie will come back and allow you maybe with a higher debt to income ratio, and will waive an appraisal and tell you that if you have a self-employed borrower, that you only need 1 year corporate tax returns, which could make or break a file.
Wow.
So, and as long as you can prove that they've owned the company for 5 years, then you're good. And I've had a lot of deals being able to be saved that way because LP is maybe, my borrower's little 2017 corporate tax return was, a lot less than what he made in 2018. And when you have to average that, it could bring them, below the sales price that they really want to look at. And you know that they qualify for more. So you want to run them both ways just to make sure that you're getting the best product for your borrower.
That's awesome. And so what are the differences between the down payment assistance in the GSFA and the Cal FHA?
Well, Cal HFA, on their second, there's a interest rate even though there's no payment. So interest is accrued. The FICO scores are higher. You have to be a first-time home buyer.
Right.
GSFA.
Tongue twister.
Yeah, tongue twister. I get it wrong every time. FICO scores 640. There's 0% interest if you do the open door on the second. There's no interest on the platinum program either, and it is considered a second until after the 3 years, and then it's fully forgiven. So that's basically another difference is the platinum, it's fully forgiven. Open door, the 3.5 is a gift, 3.5 is a second at 0%. Cal HAFA, 3% second, no payment on it for 30 years, but it's due and payable in 30 years with all that interest.
And I know you guys are hearing a lot of percentages and money, but the good news is Amy will figure all that out for you.
Right. You don't have to do all that. I will do it for you.
All you have to do is show up, and she'll put everything into the system.
Yeah, make the appointment. I'll do it all for you.
So what is a GSFA affordable subsidy?
This is really neat. So there's a $1,500 up to a $2,500 subsidy that certain clients can qualify for. So you have to be 50% of the adjusted monthly income. So to get the $2,500, and then in order to get the $1,500, it has to be at 80% or below. So in order to find out what that actually is, we would have to figure out your income, then the property that you're purchasing, if it qualifies. And it'll tell you, you can pull up on the map that they have in their website. You can put in the address that you're looking at, and it'll tell you whether there's an income limit on that property, what the 50% and what the 80% is. And then LP also will pick that up and let us know whether our client has low income basically to qualify for this subsidy, and it's free money.
Oh, that's nice. We all like free money.
So, yeah, with the open door, you can do 3.5, second, 3.5 grant or gift, and then up to a $2,500 subsidy.
So what can the subsidy be used for?
The subsidy is used for closing costs or the down payment.
Okay.
As is the gift and the second.
Okay. And so is there an income limit for the GSFA affordable subsidy?
Yes. So it's the county limit, whatever county you're purchasing in, whatever that limit is. And if it's 50% and under of that limit, then you get the $2,500. If it's 80%, between 50 and 80, you get the $1,500.
Okay, I get it now. Sorry, this is like all new to me. I've never heard about this program, so I'm learning as I go.
And a lot of people use it. I mean, we've done a lot of platinum I've done a lot of platinum myself, but I'm really liking this open door program as well.
I really like the fact that you don't have to be a first-time home buyer.
Right.
And anyone can qualify for it.
Right. You just have to occupy the property. It cannot be an investment.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Now, what if someone purchases it as an initial occupancy, but then they want to rent it out? Is there a time limit?
I believe there is. That's a very good question. I believe there is. I think they have to live in it at least 12 months. Okay. It has to be the conventional financing. If it's a FHA, they have to refinance out of that program into a standard conventional.
Okay.
Because FHA obviously has to be owner occupied for at least 12 months, but with the down payment assistance, it has to be the term, or you have to pay those off.
Okay. Well, we're gonna be right back after these short breaks, so stay tuned, and we'll be back with Miss Amy Romero.
Are you thinking of selling your home? Since 2004, the Souza Group, brokered by eXp Realty, has specialized in premier property listings and sales located in the Clovis Unified and North Fresno markets. The Souza Group will do their best to exceed your expectations. Visit clovisunifiedhomes.com. If your home floods, who will you call? When your house springs a leak, it's time to call Clean Master Emergency Flood Service at 559-213-9430. Clean Master will be there in 60 minutes to start fixing your home. And Clean Master bills your insurance directly, saving you the hassle because you've got enough to worry about. Clean Master also offers carpet and upholstery cleaning, carpet repair, pet odor removal, and more. Remember, Clean Master Emergency Flood Service. 559-213-9430 and visit cleanmasterflood.com. Pour yourself a glass of Crybaby wine available at the market and Sam's Italian Deli. And remember to ask for Crybaby wine at your favorite restaurant.
Forget about the higher good of food, right? You're growing a product that people enjoy really all over the world. I mean, how does that make you feel?
I think about that all the time. I think about the families sitting around a table, enjoying a meal. I just see that what we do brings families together.
I mean, we're blessed. We're in paradise for food.
The Kern family of the Kern Family Farm invites you to eat delicious, nutritious, organic produce available at the Gnarly Carrot, located at 32954 Road 222 in North Fork, California. The Gnarly Carrot is a local, natural, seasonally changing market, offering a wide range of products from local Central Valley vendors. Get your caffeine fix, grab a smoothie, and support small businesses. Learn more at kernfamilyfarm.com and visit the Gnarly Carrot today. Doctor in Sukasa allows you to connect with your doctor when you need a quick treatment. Avoid a trip to a medical clinic or emergency room and connect by video with your doctor from your home, work, or anywhere. Just go to drnsukasa.com on your phone, tablet, or computer. Dr. in Sukasa provides quality care that is convenient, bilingual, and affordable, so you are never left without access to health care. Visit drnsukasa.com today.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Hi, welcome back to Home Buying Tips with Allie. I am here with Amy Romero of Finance of America Mortgage, and we're discussing the GSFA program, which is Golden State Finance Authority. So, Amy, regarding the GSFA, what is the minimum required down payment, and is there one?
There is. So it's standard with conventional. It's 3%, and then your FHA is 3.5%. Mm-hmm. VA is 0. Mm-hmm. USDA is also 0.
Right.
So, yeah, there are minimum down payments on those.
But what about for the GSFA program? Is there a minimum down payment, or they get the down payment?
Well, they get the
as a
down
gift?
payment as well. It's not necessarily a gift. You can use on the platinum. You can use the 5% towards closing and down payment, and then the open doors you can use the 3.5 second and the 3.5 for gift towards your down payment and closing.
And I know all of this sounds confusing, but the minute you sit down with Amy,
It'll make more sense.
she will clearly go over everything.
And
with
if you already have your down payment and you just want to use the gift portion of the open door, you're allowed to do that. It can go up to 3.5%, and then up to 5% on the gift if you already have your down payment, and then with the platinum, it's also up to 5% depending on the type of mortgage
Okay.
you're doing on your first.
And then, we all hate the D word, documentation. What kind of documentation is required?
So on your documentation, this is really nice. We go by what our automated underwriting system tells us we need. So on the GSFA program. So if you only need 1 year of tax return and a W-2 to verify your income, then that's all we need. And then a bank statement saying to show that you have assets, if we're using any at all. It'll ask for either 1 or 2 months. Sometimes there's a waiver that we get. Sometimes we get a waiver on an appraisal. That's been very rare on these types of programs.
Right.
But there are waivers on your standard conventional sometimes. So yeah, that's what... Sorry, my brain just went.
It's okay.
I'm telling you.
That means it's live and real.
Right, exactly. I lost my train of talk, in my brain.
We were talking about the documentation.
Yes,
needed.
so the documentation, sorry. So that's what you just go by what the automated underwriting system says, depending on whether it's the DU or the LP.
Okay. And we both know now that DU and LP is Freddie versus Fannie.
Correct.
And they're not friends.
They're not. But both run by the government. Correct.
Is mortgage insurance required through this program?
Yes, and the mortgage insurance, depending on your program, it is the lesser, and depending on your down payment. So if you're up to 97%, it starts at the 18% coverage. So then you go into this the MI company's website to get the quote. So it may be 30, instead of 0.92%, it could be 0.54
Okay.
on your added to your monthly payment, which is a reduced MI, which could really help your client, qualify for the bigger house than, normal.
So I have a question I just thought of that I've never asked in my life. I never thought about asking. Typically, your PMI, which is your private mortgage insurance, is on your 30-year term.
Correct.
But when you have a silent second, does it extend?
No.
So it ends at 30 years.
Right. So, it can end before 30 years, depending on the mortgage.
Yes.
FHA, it's the life of the loan. Conventional, it will automatically be removed at 78% without you having to do anything. If you feel like your value has gone up in the last couple of years and you've only paid 2 years on your mortgage, you could ask your mortgage company to do an appraisal on your property to see if the value is more than what you owe on it, to get you under that 80% to cancel.
Right. Yeah, 'cause private mortgage insurance, I'm not a fan of it. Mine is over in February of next year.
Yeah, nobody really is a fan of it. The only reason it's there is because anything over 80% loan to value is considered a higher risk. And so they've come up with the private mortgage insurance, which helps. It pays the lender back if you default.
Right.
And then it is covered, and the servicer will take over.
Oh, yeah, especially after what happened in 2008.
Oh, yeah. The nice crisis that we had.
I know, and that's what started all of this. So can GSFA be used on investment properties?
No, it cannot.
Okay.
No. It's only on your primary residence, and that is also with the CalHAFA program as well. So you have to occupy the property in order to get the assistance.
Now, I know that sometimes people, they have their primary residence, but then they work out of the county in another county, so they have two primary residences. Does that count or no?
That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure. So if they own a home here, I would say with Calhaffa, no, because you have to be a first-time home buyer.
Okay.
But with the GSFA, if they're buying a secondary residence, and they 100 miles or more, I would have to find that out. I'm not. I mean, that's a stumper for me. I'm not really 100% sure because you already have an owner occupied,
right?
And their guideline says it has to be owner occupied,
right?
So if you're working out of town, say you work up in the Bay Area and you stay there during the week and you have a home there, that would be considered your primary,
right?
Because you are spending more than
80%
of your time there. So I'm not sure what would happen with the other house if they had already down payment assistance on that. So I'm going to have to find that out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm always looking for loopholes.
You stumped me.
I'm loophole
Not
queen.
many people can do that.
So when it comes to being a first-time home buyer, is there any required education?
Yes. So there is a home buyer education course that they have to take on both of these programs if you're a first-time home buyer. It's all done on your computer, and then they make a phone call, they help you do a budget, and then you get a certificate. So you don't have to actually go somewhere to do the class. There are local classes that you can take if you want to do that, but you can also just do it on a weekend, on a Saturday or a Sunday, and it takes a couple hours. You get that done, and then they call you on a Monday, ask you questions. Just want to make sure you've paid attention to the class, and then they send the certificate to us showing that you took the class. If you are not a first-time home buyer, you don't have to take that class.
Okay. I've actually seen some of the education components of the class, and it's really informative.
It is.
And it gives you a lot of insight as to being a homeowner. I thought it was really neat, the program that they put together.
Well, I like it because they, if you get into some type of financial trouble, it goes over that and who you can contact and who's there to help you get through that part of your, to help you negotiate with your mortgage company.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do this for a living,
you don't know.
You don't know. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, since the crisis, they've really made these classes more informative to educate the buyer and to help them with a budget.
Yes.
And so that they're not just buying something because they can afford it on paper.
Right.
Because what we qualify you on is your gross income.
Exactly.
But you're only bringing your net income home. So...
and you have to pay groceries and utilities and insurance
with
and
the bigger
this
house
and
becomes
that.
bigger obligations.
And
So-
your Starbucks, that all goes into your budget.
And if you don't budget for Starbucks, you don't get Starbucks.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
So can you use the GSFA in all counties in California?
yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, that's with any down payment assistance in California, I believe. With the GFSA and the Calhaffa, you can. It's any county really.
Awesome. Well, we'll be right back after these short announcements and continue on with our conversation.
I don't understand.
Hi everyone, I am Sparkle Sujin with the Everything Sparkle Show. Tune in every Thursday live at 4 p.m. You will see people that are motivational, inspirational, inspiring, and of course, entertaining. We have a great time. We learn things about how big celebrities are inspiring big names here in Fresno. Hugh Hefner is the reason we have Fresno Magazine, and Gnarly Charlie got his start because Johnny Carson told him to. So, tune in, you'll learn something new, and have a good time.
Visit the beautiful city of Exeter and visit ExeterChamber.com. The Chamber's mission is to promote, support, and enable Exeter to prosper, creating a strong local economy, promoting community, and providing networking opportunities. Follow the Chamber on Facebook and Twitter, or give the Chamber a call at 559-559-5555. 592-2919. Call Peachy's Catering for all your special occasions. Available to cook any variety of foods and desserts that will leave your taste buds wanting more. Call 559-558-2682 and follow Peachy's on Instagram and Facebook.
Is everything in life draining you? Come to Stretch 360. Our professional staff can offer you many options for relaxation like deep tissue or hot stone massages, infrared medical grade sauna. Once you leave us, you'll look and feel like $1,000,000. Stretch 360. Relaxation is only a stretch away.
Call Nicole Hamilton McManus at 559-917-3040 to buy this perfect, romantic, rustic ranch with a 2-home setup. Located only 12 miles from the entrance to Kings Canyon and Sequoia National Parks. This beautifully maintained property boasts of amenities and custom features. The main home is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,670 square feet. The guest home is 2 bedrooms, 1 bath with 1,163 square feet. Also features a 75-foot lap pool, a cabana, a beautiful garden, and 2 small nearby ponds. Call Nicole Hamilton McManus at 559-917-3040. The Art of Becoming Who We Are in Christ by JOLENE Kennedy is a book about the process of maturity as we find our true identity, since God's promises must be received, embraced, and activated within us. Get your copy today and check out JoleneKennedy.com. Fleet Feet Fresno is more than just a running and sportswear store. Fleet Feet Sports' mission is to provide runners and other active Fresnans with gear that fits their individual needs, training that helps them reach their fitness goals, and races that satisfy their competitive spirit. Get to know Fleet Feet Fresno today.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Welcome back to Home Buying Tips with Allie. I am here with Amy Romero of Finance of America Mortgage. So, Amy, we know that with Cal FHA, you can only lock in your rate at a certain time. And with GSFA, can you lock in your rate at any time? And can you explain the difference between locking in the rates of both programs?
Right. So with Cal HAFA, you have to wait until you have the approval from Cal HAFA before you can lock. With the GSFA, I could lock it as soon as it's disclosed and you sign the intent to proceed, even before we get appraisal, before our underwriter reviews it. So that's the difference. You can lock it in at any time, which kind of always confuses me because, GSFA has their own set interest rate. Cal HAFA does not. They go off of, our standard rate. So it's, why can't we lock it? I've always questioned that. Why can't we lock it before the approval?
Right.
It's, basically locked under our name. And the only one that's not locked is the second. And so I've always questioned why we couldn't do that before, but no one ever seems to know the answer to that.
So with the GSFA, when it's locked, is it 30 days? And
Yes.
then it gets unlocked if if the file isn't done by then?
It's 30 days. You can lock it up to 45.
Okay.
I choose to do the 45 because there's no difference in rate. And it gives you extra time just in case that appraisal comes in lower or the borrower goes out and buys a car and kills the deal,
yeah.
and you can scramble
Or furniture.
Or furniture. And when you tell them not to do something, I sometimes it just happens and you have to kind of scramble and figure out how to fix that issue or if it's even fixable.
Right. So what kind of fees are associated with this type of loan?
So this loan for the GSFA, it's 1.5% interest rate, or I'm sorry, origination fee, and then there's a $400 state agency fee and an $80 transfer tax fee.
Okay.
And those are the fees. So it's 1.5% of the loan amount. So it's not based off the purchase price. And that's pretty much it. And then you have your standard appraisal fee, escrow fees, and then your impound account. And depending on what time of year that is, that will, vary.
Exactly.
Like right now, taxes are due, and they're due again in March. So we're going to collect 8 months to pay the taxes in coming up, because if you close in December, you're not going to have a payment till February.
Right.
So then you wouldn't have enough to cover in March and then again in November.
Right.
So depending on the time of year that you buy or refinance, it could make or break a deal.
So right now our viewers just heard the F-bomb, which is fees. So with the fees, how many of them are incorporated into the loan, and how many of them are they paying out of pocket up front?
Well, that's the nice thing about the program, the down payment assistance. So you basically incorporate that with the gift or the grant and the down payment assistance, so the second loan. Either program, usually my clients will only have to come in with minimal money. Usually they get their EMD deposit back.
And what's an EMD?
That's their good faith deposit, what we used to call it back in the day. Now they call it an earnest money deposit. So most people, every seller wants you to put some skin into the game to show you're serious. So it's usually about $1,000 or more that you're going to put into escrow when you open escrow on that property.
And that's after you get your offer's been accepted.
Correct.
You've got 3 days to run down the title.
Yeah, with the cashier's check.
Yes.
Or you can wire it.
Exactly.
And so that's the only thing that you really have to come up with up front. And most of the time, clients get that money back.
That's amazing. So, Amy, I know that oftentimes we hear how different loan officers approach different situations, but you have a really unique approach to all of your clients, and you have a big passion for your clients. So let's say that I'm coming into your office and I know nothing about loans and I want to get pre-approved. What type of, what do you ask someone?
Well, first I ask, I will ask them what kind of payment they're comfortable with, because I don't like to qualify the borrower just for what they qualify for. I want them to be comfortable with their payment. So I ask them, what's the most you want to pay in a mortgage payment? I will show them what that purchase price looks like after we take a full application, run a credit report, because there's lots of factors dependent on what you qualify for. And then I will show them that. And so then they're like, oh, well, I thought I could buy like a $280,000 house and I can only do $180,000 with that payment. But then I will also show them what they actually could qualify for based off their gross income. Because, I always want to be comfortable with my mortgage payment and know that I can pay it.
Right.
Based off of what I bring home every month. And I don't want to have to just work to pay my mortgage. So that's kind of the approach that I take with every client that I have, is that's kind of how they think too. They don't want to just work to pay that mortgage payment and not be able to do anything with their family. And, because vacations are important, and being able to buy groceries is important. And if you're just making enough to cover that house payment because you went ahead and went up to that $320 based off of your gross income instead of using your net and making a budget, then you are just working to pay your mortgage, and you're not living your life.
Right. And that's one thing that I really respect about you, is that when you sit down and you meet with someone, you actually care about the ultimate goal, which is, of course, number one, buying a home, but number two, making sure you can afford
and to continue to afford that. Yeah. You want to make sure that you're comfortable making that payment, because you make one late payment and then you start to get in financial trouble. There's not a mortgage company out there that can refinance you until you've made 12 consecutive on-time payments. So if you find yourself in trouble, you will definitely want to call your mortgage loan officer and see if there's anything that they can do to help you before you actually get behind.
So with 30 years of experience of being a loan officer, I'm sure there has to be a success story that stands out to you.
Oh,
I know you have many.
I do. I have a lot. Let me think about this. I mean, yeah, there's lots of them. But the one I would say I'm most proud of is one that I did I would say mid last year. It was a USDA loan, and the company that I was at previous wasn't able to do it, and so when I came on to this company, I was actually able to do it. It was right into the transition period. So I actually closed that loan, and I made some really good friends out of it. And it's a house in Madera, and these clients, they needed this house badly, for their family, and they didn't have a lot of down payment. They just had transferred back from San Diego area, and she knows who I'm talking about if she's watching. But it's always rewarding for me anytime I close a loan, because the clients are so happy, and and there's times where clients aren't happy, and you've done everything that you can. It's just that's who they are. This business can be hard.
Of course.
I have lots of success stories over the last 30 years, so it's just I love what I do.
Yeah.
I love helping people get into homes, and I had lost my passion for a while, and I found my passion again, and this is it. I just love helping people.
And your
get into a home.
Your passion radiates through the airwaves. So,
Thanks.
Yeah, we can definitely. If you have not had the pleasure of meeting Amy, you need to reach out to her, even just to get to know her as a person. She's just awesome.
Oh, thanks, Allie.
So we're going to be back after this brief moment, and then we'll be wrapping up our show.
When you need to get fit, contact Gary Torres, IFBB Pro, specializing in weight loss, body transformations, and contest prep. Email Gary Torres 5336@yahoo.com.
Hey, I'm Chris DeVold. Tune in every Friday night on CentralValleyTalk.com when I bring you Sex, Drugs, Chris DeVold, where I'll give you 3 guesses on what we talk about. And I also vow to bring you 1 live local music act a week. So tune in every week, because you never know what kind of music you're going to hear right here on CentralValleyTalk.com.
The Space Colony Journals are an epic tale of a family's struggle to survive. Meet the courageous women and dangerous men who dare to carve a home on the alien world of Vensu. Get your copy today. Available on Amazon and Gail Daly's FineArt.com.
You enter this door with expired tags. Beyond is another dimension, a dimension of regulations, a dimension of long waits. You have reached the registration zone. What looks like an ordinary shop is actually MICHEL'S SMOG, located in the heart of the Tower District, a few minutes from the DMV. MICHEL'S SMOG offers your vehicle a STAR-certified SMOG inspection. So remember MICHEL'S SMOG when you need to pass through the registration zone.
Contact Sarah Hernandez of June and Matt Photography to schedule your portrait, engagement, wedding, or next family photo session. But that's not all. Sarah is also your personal brandographer, helping you ditch the stock photos and get images that sell. Call 559-412-3721. Visit JuneandMattPhoto.com and follow Sarah on Instagram and Facebook.
Hello, everyone. My name is Miss G. I offer fun and affordable promotion and advertisement on my talk show. It is called Fresno Vibes. We talk, we play awesome music. I also feature a bunch of different bartenders from different places. I like to have restaurants. I like to have any event, any kind of fun stuff. contact me at rmgmissg@gmail.com, and we will have so much fun, and we will promote your business, promote your event right here on my show. So contact me. We'll have fun. Thank you.
Give your child the tools to succeed. The Yergubian Academic Center offers one-on-one and group educational lessons by appointment. Over 90% of our students show significant improvement in their academics in just 3 months. Students of the Yergubian Academic Center have gone on to UCLA, UC San Diego, Yale, Stanford, and many more prestigious universities. Schedule a tutoring session today. Call 559-437-3973.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Home Buying Tips with Allie. I am here with Amy Romero of Finance of America Mortgage. Amy, you have been giving us such amazing insight into this GSFA program, which is Golden State Finance Authority. Mm-hmm. I keep repeating it so that I don't forget what it stands for. So, Amy, how can our viewers get in touch with you?
Well, you can reach me on my cell phone, which is the 559-977-5322. Mm-hmm. My email address is amy.romero@financeofamerica.com. Mm-hmm. Or you can call me at the main line of my office. It's 226-9326.
And do you prefer to take applications online or in person?
I can do both. I prefer to do person just because it's more personal, and I tend to get a lot more out of the client, mm-hmm. and they get a lot more information from me because they're in a comfortable setting. They're able to answer all the questions. I tend to try to take 45 minutes to an hour tops. Sometimes it does go over that, mm-hmm. Just because they have lots of questions. But I want to be able to set time aside for every client to be able to answer all their questions and show them, what's available to them. And then they can make an informed decision on what they want to do.
Exactly. And then you get the ultimate satisfaction of giving them their pre-approval letter.
Yes. Yeah, the pre-approval letter is amazing. My favorite part is just the closing mm-hmm. of it, and I attend every signing that I close, just because I've always done that.
Yeah.
There's times where you can't make it, but for 9 times out of 10, I will be there at your signing to make sure that everything on the documents is correct, because your notary cannot answer those questions.
Correct. Yeah.
So.
Well, that's amazing. I'm so happy that you came on this show.
I'm so happy I did too.
That you gave us all this insight into this GSFA program. And if you guys butcher it, it's okay, because we know it's a tongue twister.
I butcher it sometimes too. I switch the letters around.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. And so where is your office located?
We are on Bryant in Fort Washington at 9499 Fort Washington Road, Suite 103.
And do you have office hours, or can people walk in? Or
they can walk in. I prefer to have appointments, mm-hmm. But if you walk in, I will make time for you. Our hours are from 8 to 5, but my hours are, I'm always available until I'm asleep.
Right. Well, thank you, everyone, for watching us this week. Please have a very happy and safe Thanksgiving with your family and friends. Please reach out to Amy Romero if you have any questions regarding purchasing a home or getting pre-qualified to purchase a home. And her contact information is at the bottom of the screen.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you so much. Everyone have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next week.